Good Sunday afternoon, everybody. Today's July the 7th, 2024. And I went flying last night, and flew beautifully, no problems. Come out here to the airport this morning, and look what I find. Okay, let's walk over here. That's oil. Needs to be investigated. Okay, this video part right here might not be too clear, but I'm going to try to show you what I'm finding. There's an oil drop there. Looks like a little oil right here. But gosh, let's just go down the fuselage. And I know I got oil streaming all the way back down the belly. So something's not right. I've got the top cowling off. And looking at the oil, checking the oil, I only dropped about 1/8 of an inch on the stick. So it's definitely leaking out. Inside the top cowling, no sign of anything. Looking around here in the bottom cowling, don't see much yet, but I get up around here and I can see there's a lot of, it looks like oil on that fuel line right there. Coming across the top. And there's the oil filter, and there's a pool of oil right there. Now when I had this cowling off last week, one thing I did is I checked that oil temperature sensor for accuracy. So I pulled that out, put it in with a couple other thermometers to check accuracy, which it's accurate within about 2 degrees. And I put a new crush washer on right there. And I'm suspecting that maybe somehow that's not doing its job. Right now, that's the most likely culprit that I see. I don't see any oil coming out of any valve cover gaskets where it would be pooling right there or there. Let's check the other side. I don't see any pooling here. It drips here. I don't see anything anywhere. As much oil as on the belly, I thought maybe the O-ring on the gasket had pushed out. And I'll check that a little closer. There you can see the O-ring, and it doesn't appear to be displaced in any way. But that's a pretty big pool of oil right there. So I suspect that, but I can't imagine how I could lose that much oil out of there. I also had the thought of the main seal, front crank seal, but I don't see any sign of any oil slung out here anywhere, on the sides. If the main seal was leaking, it would be coming out here and slinging out. And then if the front prop seal was leaking up inside here where you can't see it, that would be slinging out on the propeller. And I don't see anything anywhere on the propeller, any sign of any oil streaks or anything. So that's good news. So far, everything is good news. What is it? There's a little streak right there. I don't know if you can see it. Right there where that light is. I got the hangar doors open, so it's not reflecting, but I think that's a streak that's bug guts. I've got bug guts on my finger. No. I don't really see anything here, so I think my front seals are okay right now. chief suspect right there. If this were a crime scene, I would say I've got fingerprints and DNA evidence. So that's what I'm thinking. I got a big cleanup. All right. One thing I just inspected this. I got that light on it so y'all can see it best. Like I said, I took this out to check the accuracy and just reinstalled it. I put a new crush washer on right here, but I don't see evidence of oil, and of course it's hard to tell because it's all wet, but I've got oil up here as well. But I don't see that much evidence that it's coming out around where the oil temperature sensor seats against the crush washer or the crush washer against the casing. On this side and the other side back here, I don't see that. So here's my thinking, and actually I'm posing this thinking as a question. So if you know, help me out in the comments. When I took this out, this is all solid underneath. There's no open areas or anything for it to fail. But it appears like the oil might be coming out from up here. So, is that possible? I'm going to pull it out and have a look. So, let's see what we get into here. Another thought I had, as you can see, one thing, this oil temperature sensor does not come with a hole anywhere for, safety wire to secure it. And the thing I don't and this thing is not torqued down tight. You're supposed to touch that crush washer and then turn it an additional 90 to 100 degrees. So that's what I did. And I, to give myself a little peace of mind, I got this little thing that I bent in the shape of the, the hex, and safety wired it over here. Although there's not that much pull on that. Not much at all, just enough to keep that from turning in there. I briefly thought that maybe I had too tight here and it was pulling it up and leaking on this other side at the bottom down here, but I don't think it is. Anyway, I'm going to pull it out and see what we have. Thought I even had oil up here. You can see that. But that's not oil, that's where I had my arm resting when I was looking at that. So it's sweat, because it's another hot day in Zamunda. You saw the movie Coming to America, you know what I mean. Okay, as you can see, I got the oil temperature sensor off, cleaned up the oil mess around there a little bit. I did inspect the oil filter all the way around to make sure the O-ring, actually it's a flat ring on the oil filter up against the face. The boss right here is not squishing out any place. I did see that happened and somebody lost a lot of oil. Also cleaned up the oil temperature sensor. And one thing I was talking about a moment ago was I thought perhaps that maybe the leak was coming from up inside here. I don't know if that's in focus. But looking at the bottom of this thing, cleaned it up real good. And there is nowhere, no breaks, no cracks, nothing. So, without fail, it had to be coming from around the crush washer right here. And I got to looking, thinking about something here. You see the threads? Let me get them against the white towel. I measured it. I can't tell exactly because I don't have a thread pitch gauge with me, but that's about 16 threads per inch, which equates to one full revolution of a 1/16 of an inch. Remember what I said? I read somewhere that when you use a crush washer, you're supposed to, once it touches, turn it 90 degrees and stop. Well, that's what I did here. I actually went about 100 degrees and stopped, but it leaked like a sieve, as you can see. So a 90-degree turn with 16 threads per inch is only about 15 or 16 thousandths of an inch compression. Not good at all. So I got to thinking about it. Right here is the oil screen. That also uses a crush washer. And I don't show any mercy on that when I tighten it. I certainly went a lot more than 90 degrees. So I'm positive that's the problem. I'm going to reinstall all this, clean this mess up, and then I'll do an engine run and see what we have. Okay, I got everything cleaned up. I should say just right here cleaned up. I still got to take it and clean out all the oil underneath here and wash the bottom of the plane. But got this cleaned up. Couldn't find anything wrong with the oil temperature sensor. Put it back in. Put my little anti-rotation thing on there. Got a little dab of, can't see it probably, RTV back there to help keep it from sliding up. And this is not tight at all. It's just to keep it from turning. So let's get the rest of this mess cleaned up and we'll do an engine run. Okay, here I am in the middle of the job cleaning the oil. I used Dawn dish soap a lot of places back here and then sprayed it down. Now the last thing I want to do is start this engine, so probably wait till tomorrow to do that. That water will get into those wires and short them out. So, but I think I got all the oil out of this area. It was just coated in there. Now for the belly. Good Monday morning, everybody. Today is July the 8th, 2024. I spent all day out here yesterday working on the plane in the heat, but I survived. It's another beautiful day in Zamunda, also known as South Alabama, right down here on the coast. Plan of the day is engine run and check for leaks. Okay, just completing an engine run out on the ramp. Taxied around for a while to give the engine plenty of time to warm up. Did a full throttle run up as well as a mag check. Everything checks out good. And this is the moment of truth. I don't see any signs of any oil leaking. Let's get up here and check out what was our... Look at there. Not a drop. So that's good. Everything looks nice and tight. Let's check out the other side. I don't see any sign of anything over here as well. So I think we're back in business. And just incidentally, one more thing I did was change out the oil drain back line up in there. I don't know if you can see those or not, but I changed out both sides just so they would eliminate any possibilities of risk. The reason I went ahead and changed them out though is the ones on this side that you can see right there looked a little gooey, like maybe they had some oil on them, but I put new lines on, so hopefully that solves the problem. Let's get this thing buttoned up and ready to go to Oshkosh. Of course, this engine run was only about 15 minutes on the ramp, so I still will be continuing to watch it closely, but pretty sure we got everything squared away. So, if you found this video entertaining, appreciate a like, and we welcome your subscription. Till next time.